So last week, we were given the message, किलविख काटे क्रोध निवारे, गुर का शब्द रखे उर्धारे, सच रते सदा बैरागी, हमें मार मिलावण्या. And the message was that it is all his doing. When the human take credit for any activity, all he is getting is the ego. That's it. No benefit from claiming the authorship of your action. If you want to become the owner of your action, understand that all you are doing is feeding your ego more. Whatever is being done is done by him. It may be through somebody else though. So, when it said, Kilvik means the difficult things. Kate means destroys it. Krodh nivare, gets rid of your anger. But if the anger is going away, don't say I am doing it. Because if you say that, anger might be down, the ego will be up, all the effort will be lost. Gur ka shabd rakhe urdhare. If you still remember the message, Gur ka shabd means his message. If you still remember his message in your heart, don't take the credit for it. Don't say, I remember him. It is so important to continuously remind yourself. Many times, some people get annoyed with me because I remind them. When they say, thank you, and I gently remind them, it isn't me. Please give the credit where it is due. It isn't due to me. It is due to him. It is his doing. He may be using my body, but this is just an empty shell. Whatever is flowing, that is his energy. And I say, we know, but we still have to say this. Because this has become our ingrained habit. And that habit needs to be modified. If you want to say, thank you for coming into my life, change this and say, I thank him for bringing you into my life. Say, I am grateful to him. I am grateful to that energy who made this meeting possible. That way, you will be accomplishing two things. First, you will be remembering him. And secondly, you will be avoiding giving the credit where it is not deserved. Just by changing this simple habit. Anybody who's expecting you to thank him or her does not deserve your thanks. It is such a slippery road. So that's why the last message last week was किलबिख काटे क्रोध निवारे गुरु का शब्द रखे उर्धारे सच रते सदा बैरागी हाउ में मार मिलावण हाउ में the ego, that feeling of I, this struggle that we have within ourselves. How do we communicate with each other without saying I? Well, in the business world, go ahead and use your I, because the business world would not accept it. In my own life experience, when I came from India, I had built in this behavior where I will not take the direct credit for anything. And I used to be chastised by my boss all the time. Speak in active language, not in a passive language. Write in active language, not in a passive language. Use the subject properly. And he would not send any memo from me till I pass through him, because he will cross all the passive voice and change it to active. I did that. Somebody said this. Use the direct language. That behavior is not acceptable in the spiritual world. If you want to evolve in the spiritual world, you will have to work on this habit. That was the message last time. Sach rate sada bairagi, how me mar milavanya. Milavanya means to meet him, to have his experience from within. And the message was, so long the I exists, in any slightest form, even in a fraction, you will not experience him. It's not possible. You have to recognize this starting from now. If you haven't already done it, take this to heart. Because Gurbani declares, Hame name nal virodh hai, doe na vase ek thaye. Interpretation: ego and his word are opposite to each other. Both will never coexist. They are like tigers who will not rule the same jungle. Two tigers will not share the territory. Not possible. Even though the food may be enough for both, tigers will never share the territory. So if you want to walk on a spiritual, a mystical path, if you want to evolve spiritually, learn to talk in a passive voice, not in active voice. How would you get there? Next hymn expands on this and answers that question. Antar ratan mile milaya, tribhid mansa, tribhid maya, par pandit moni thakke, chauthe pad ki sar na pavanaya. a direct challenge, a declaration. What is the declaration?